Hello! Welcome back to Harry Has a Cocktail, episode 42. This week, I'm giving you something short and sweet with a good old 1-2 punch. Something that'll really serve you for winter. How about it? Let's go. This is... I don't know what's gotten into me today, seriously. I have no idea. I'm trying to pump out as many Harry Has a Cocktails as I can, and I'm just keeping it going. Today, a Boulevardier. Now, this drink has been around for many, many years. My friend Josh actually really loves this drink. He drinks it every time we go out. Sean and I get Negronis, and he and his husband Michael get Boulevardiers. They're very similar drinks. First, to start the program off right, I'm gonna give you some Boozy Lore. This Boozy Lore comes to you by way of, you guessed it, Robert Simonson and the 3-ingredient cocktail book. Created in the 1920s by a profligate Paris-dwelling expatriate scion of the Vanderbilt clan, the Boulevardier is named after the magazine he briefly published there. The recipe first appeared as a footnote in Harry McElhone's Harry McElhone's Barflies and Cocktails, published in 1927. It has over the decade become widely served and greatly loved. As with the Negroni, many choose to increase the amount of bourbon. This has been Boozy Lore. If you're not into brown liquor, I think this is a cocktail that could be a good entryway into the world of brown liquor. This is something that has a little bit of sweetness in it, a little bit of bitter in it, sort of a caramely, some orange in there, kind of wintry. It has a lot of different things going on in it, and I really recommend that you try it. So here is what goes into a Boulevardier. First, we have bourbon. 4 Roses bourbon. I like this bourbon a lot. It's kind of a good price point and very flavorful. We also have sweet vermouth, Campari, and we're going to mix it in a mixing glass, and we're going to garnish it with an orange twist. Let's go ahead and make the Boulevardier. First, fill your mixing glass with a crap ton of ice. As the recipe mentioned, we are going to make this drink with a little extra bourbon than some recipes normally call for. Robert Simonson's recipe calls for 1 ounce of bourbon, but we're gonna go ahead and put in 2 ounces of bourbon. 1, 2. Ooh, I can already smell that brown liquor. Oh, that smells good. Next, we are going to add 1 ounce of, sorry, I had the bottle backwards. 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. 1 ounce of Campari. 1. Now, stir the crap out of it for about 30 seconds. Okay, we are going to strain it into a rocks glass with a big ice cube. These are my big ice cubes. You've seen them before. My, Harry, what big ice cubes you have. Straining. Ugh. Isn't that pretty? Come on, you know you want some. Finally, we are going to garnish it with an orange twist. Express yourself, express your twist. Express. Run it over the edge, drop it in. Okay, let's go ahead and try the Boulevardier. The very first thing I get whenever it hits my, tongue, is that bitter Campari orangey taste. And also I've got the orange oils. I was trying to say the word oils. The oils from the orange twist are sort of floating along the top. You can smell it wafting. I'm definitely getting the bourbon too. Yeah, see, this is, those of you who may have a little bit of a problem with bourbon, I think maybe when you first drink bourbon, what is it exactly? I'm trying to think back to before I liked bourbon and why didn't I like it? It seems like a long time ago. I'm not sure why I used to refuse bourbon. I don't know. It just has like a really good caramely, woodsy notes of leather, tobacco, and it also looks great, don't you think? Now, I usually make this drink with only 1.5 ounces of bourbon. Today, I followed a recipe that my friend Christine sent to me. Hi, Christine. I had said to her that I usually shy away from drinks that approach 4 ounces. I usually try to stick to a 3.5 ounce drink because I kind of like, I don't know, I just don't want to go overboard. I'm very much a believer in, self-control, I suppose. This has 2 ounces of bourbon, and I have to say, Christine, I really like this. This would last me for quite a while. This is something I feel like I'd want to sip. The sweetness of the sweet vermouth, the sweetness and bitter quality of the Campari they're both shining through. Campari, if you haven't had it before, is a very acquired taste. It took me quite a while to like the Campari. I had to let my taste buds adjust. Adding the 2 ounces of bourbon, I think, balances it out. I think I'll probably stick with this recipe of 2 to 1 to 1. Thank you, Christine, for sending me that recipe. If you watched episode 38, I made a Negroni, and keen observers might realize that a Boulevardier is essentially a Negroni, but you're substituting bourbon for the gin. Taking the gin out, you're putting the bourbon in. The thing about the Negroni is that the Negroni, because it has gin in it, it's very sort of citrus and of course juniper forward. It has more of a bite to it, I would say. But the Boulevardier just kind of tastes nice and mellow to me. It really makes me want to sit by a fire and smoke a cigar, and I do not smoke cigars. If I smoked cigars, I would definitely smoke one with a Boulevardier. So there you have it, the Boulevardier. Thanks as always for watching Harry Has a Cocktail, and we'll see you back here next time. Cheers.